Now I need to change my name. Okay, cool. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Recording. Pierce County Sheriff Ed Troyer. He's accused the newspaper carrier of threatening to kill him. We finally heard from the sheriff earlier this week when he took the stand in his false reporting trial. And he said, like this come with the territory when you work in law enforcement.
Been threatened a lot over the years. Never ever pursued it.
Whoever's watching the news needs to mute it.
Troyer fought with the Cedric Alzheimer through Tacoma's Vista View neighborhood. He says Alzheimer looks ready to fight when he asked why he was being. That's when Troyer called for help. Responding officers told Troyer that
So let him go do his job. You know, I mean, just wanted to let the guy go do his job. Could have told me that. And none of them.
Hey, can we please go on mute for those folks that are not?
Sheriff Troyer will take a stand exam when the court reconvenes tomorrow. He will then face cross-examination by prosecutors. Now, investigating the cause of a building fire in Tacoma. This happened last night on Pacific Avenue near Larchmont Elementary School. It took crews about 15 minutes to get the fire under control. Firefighters say everyone made it out of that.
Hey, Leslie, can you please go on mute?
We're learning more tonight about a crash in Everett where firefighters rescued a dog. It happened last night just before 6 p.m. Crews tell us Wally's owner was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, but is expected to be okay. Everett trial released this photo of the crash. As you can see, it was pretty serious. 3 cars involved. Everett Fire says 4 people in total were hurt, and police are now looking into what caused that crash. We have an update tonight on the light rail in Tacoma. People looking for
Somebody who didn't mute their thing caused the crash.
Transit announced the agency.
Yeah, Star, it's Leslie. If you could just mute her yourself, that'd be great.
It was originally expected to open next spring, but it's been pushed back. Sound Transit says
Leslie, mute.
Track geometry in one section of the.
Hey folks, just give it a minute to start. I know there were some challenges, people getting logged on, so I just want to make sure everybody has a chance to get on before we get moving. Gustavo, don't look too comfortable. All right, I'm gonna kick it off here for a minute. Star is still trying to get in. I think he's having some challenges, but it's okay. I'm just gonna kick it off while we do that. Oh, here we go. You're here. Star, I'm just gonna kick it off for a minute while you get set up, okay? What I wanted to do before we start here is I want to just acknowledge, and I'm sure, I know there's been a lot of conversation, and I'm sure a lot of you have been talking to each other. I just want to acknowledge.
Anybody hear me?
Yeah, we got you. We got you. I want to acknowledge the loss of one of our officials, Eric Briggs, on Thursday. And I just want to say from my perspective, because I came up in PNBOA with Eric, John, just before COVID, assigned us a lot of JV games together. We worked probably once, twice, sometimes 3 times a week on JV games. I know a lot of you have worked a lot of rec basketball with Eric. He's worked a ton of basketball games in our association. He's been involved with basketball in
Anybody hear me?
our region for a long time. And
Hello.
this is Star, we got you. We can hear you.
Dang, what the heck? Help. Oh, man. What is going on here? Hello? Oh,
Star, we can hear you all right.
oh, okay.
It's your journey.
What's that?
You're on mute now.
Star, can you hear me now?
I can hear.
Okay, so hang on. I'm starting the meeting. I'll hand it over to you in a second.
I'm running another meeting. I'm just listening.
So I just wanted to acknowledge that.
No,
and
I'm not
just,
needed.
hey, folks, if you are not talking, can you please mute yourself? I'm going to mute everybody if we need to do that, but I prefer if you just got yourself muted.
So what are you doing?
Okay.
I'm not on video. Yeah.
Okay, can anybody hear me?
No, we can't hear you.
Oh, is that supposed to be funny? Because this is really tense.
I can hear Tony. I can hear you, Rockstar. I'll mute myself now, okay?
Thank you. Okay, we'll get started here. This is technical difficulty. I have no idea. We had too many things going on here. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. So, Benton, are you there?
Yep.
Everybody's here. That's here. We'll get started.
So just to finish what I was saying, what I want to do is if there's anybody who wants to do this, and it's fine if nobody does, it's a difficult thing. But if there's anybody who sort of wants to say any words about Eric or their time or the relationship with them, I want to open the floor up for that before we get into our conversation about other topics. I want to make sure we have an opportunity for folks to do that. And so what I would say is just unmute yourself. If multiple people start talking, we'll sort of call on somebody, but I just want to open the floor in case anybody wants to do that.
This is Gary. Can you everybody hear me?
We got you, Gary.
I started to do games with Briggs in April of 2019. And after about a year of doing games with Eric, I realized that he found his passion in life. He loved basketball. He loved being around people. And he had a fantastic demeanor for refereeing basketball. So he was a pillar in our association for only a few years. He was willing to do games every day of the week. So God bless Mr. Briggs.
I would just like to add, as somebody who didn't grow up in this area, Eric was an icon in the basketball community, not just as an official, but as a player too. He was a star player at Garfield High School. And what's sad is I just found this out a couple weeks ago when I worked with him, but he was also a star player at Seattle University. He is going to be missed by this Seattle basketball community. And it's sad and very tragic to see somebody who is, to me, this young. I mean, 50 something is young to me now, to see something like happen to this. It's mind-boggling in a way, and I just wish for his family, his friends, the condolences to them. I know that it came out of left field, and he is going to be missed, not just by our community, but by the Seattle community itself.
Thank you, Mo. Anyone else?
I want to speak up for a few words. I'm not going to say much, but I just want to send my condolence to his family, because I might start crying up here. So I just want to, say something that, just appreciate working with him and who he was and how respectful he was. So, condolence to his family, and, you're in everybody's heart, Eric. This is tough. We got some tough ones in our association. So I'm blessed. Thank you.
I'll just close unless anybody else wants to jump in. So we're obviously going to send flowers to his family, but we're also trying to keep in touch about opportunities to support him that we can send out to the group, and also any information about his service. And so we're trying to stay in touch with his dad about that. Though there's anybody within the membership also who is getting details that can share them, and we can send them out to the whole group, please do that. We want to make sure you have that information when it comes up. This is devastating is the first word that came to mind when John called on Thursday. And I know it's going to be difficult for a lot of folks. So, we will share what information when we get. All right, Star. Star, if you're talking, we cannot hear you.
Hey, Ben, can we come back to Star? This is kind of,
Hey, John, it's Star's presentation, so no.
okay, well.
Come on, Dick.
All right, sorry, we're back. You guys there? Good. I must mean you're there. All right. So my only question for this little clip is who indicates violation? All right, even though you couldn't see the video properly, who signals for a violation, the trail or the lead?
Can you replay the video? It was very
No,
choppy.
I know we're not going to replay it because it's just system screwed up. But just in general, the answer to the question is who signals for a shot clock violation in 2-man?
Trail.
If everybody turns off their video, then there won't be so much bandwidth used in this video that we're trying to show will come up clearer.
What was that? Did we get that? What do we need to do?
Well,
If everybody turns off their video on their own screen and mutes, it will not use as much bandwidth and we'll be able to see this more clearly and not hear a lot of background noise.
Okay. Everybody get that? All right. So we had a recommendation because the bandwidth, you can't see the videos. Just let me know if you can see this one though, before I quit it. Because if it's going to do the same thing, let me know if it's choppy. You're not even seeing it, are you? Okay, oh, there it goes. Okay, we're skipping the videos. All right, Mike Lloyd, you're up.
Roger that. Hey, just real quick to answer your first question, in 2-person, if the shot isn't released before the horn goes off, it's whoever has the primary for that shooter, whether it's the lead or the trail. If the shot is released in time and then the horn goes off, then it's the trail's call to trail has primary call on that play. Just to answer that question. Does that make sense?
What about the last second quarter shot? Because that came up in a couple of games I saw. Who has that one?
In 2-person, the trail always has the
2-person.
in 3-person, it's the opposite. The table has the responsibility for the shot clock, but that doesn't mean the other 2 officials are removed from having any opinion or responsibility on it. We want to get the call right as a crew, but in general, the opposite, whether it's opposite the table, whether the C or the trail is the one who's responsible for the last second shot as well.
Okay, thank you. Continue on, Mike.
All right, well, let me see. This is going to stop the other person from sharing. And I'm going to go to this guy and share, and I'm going to, how do I make that bigger? How can I make this bigger?
Mike, it was fine. You had it.
Oh, but it wasn't big on my screen. I couldn't see it.
We
It
don't
makes
care
it,
about
it makes it little. I haven't had this happen before, but let me do this.
It's just not a good night.
All right, so if you guys can see this big screen share right here, right?
Yes.
All right, so I have the 10 most missed questions on the WOA test that we all just recently took. Okay, so why won't it let me see what happens when I hit return? Wow, this is really acting not the same way that it has before. Oh, there we go. Oh, so the first slide showed you how to, I know a lot of people, the questions don't always match what they are on the study guide. So if you miss questions and you want to know which ones you miss, if you go to the WOA hub and over on the right side, it says officials. If you look under that, you'll see the test control panel. Click on that. You can bring up your test and you can actually see what specific questions you missed. All right, so how am I gonna see this guy? Let's see. All right. So question number 10 was number 46 on your study guide. Early in the second quarter, Team B is warned for interfering with the ball following a goal. Late in the fourth quarter, with the game tied, B2 clearly reaches through the, oh my gosh, it has the answer there. Let me see if I can back it up. No. Clearly reaches through the plane during a Team A throw in. Official should blow the whistle and just issue another warning. Blow a whistle, call a technical foul on B2, blow a whistle, call a technical on Team B, or ignore the action because what the heck, the game's tied, right? We don't want to blow a technical foul near the end of the game. Well, the correct answer is actually C. We blow the whistle, we call the technical on Team B. It doesn't go against the player. In federation rules, you only get one warning for violation of any of the four provisions of 447. They're reaching through the plane, huddling or contacting the free throw shooter, not hitting the ball away after a made goal, or the court's not ready after a timeout, like they've got water on the floor and they're wiping it up and stuff like that. After you give one of those warnings in 447, the next warning for any of those four provisions is a technical foul. And those are the references there.
Well, where was the warning at?
The warning was the
Doesn't say
first,
there's a warning.
the thing that happened in the second quarter. Team B is warned for interfering with the ball following a goal. That's one of the four provisions in Rule 4-47.
Excuse me, and guys, that's one reason why I missed the question, because the way it's written in my practice guide or something is I started reading at 46 of the line. It says starts in late in the fourth quarter, and I missed the first line. That's interesting. I see. So you didn't say warning. That's why I answered that way. Anyway, go ahead.
Roger that. No, it's all good. And there's the little spinner thing coming in. Awesome. All right. Question number 9. And I put the percentage of people that missed it just because I had that information. So question 9 was A1. Oh, I didn't put the number in that one. Sorry about that. A1 commits their 5th foul. Official notifies the coach, has the timer start the 50-second replacement interval by sounding the horn, and then we notify A1 they are disqualified. That's all part of the process of a disqualified player. Coach brings the team together for a quick huddle. Timer sounds the horn, ending the 15-second replacement interval, and now the coach sends A6 to the table to replace A1. Your options were official charges a team technical foul to team A. The official charges a direct technical foul to team A head coach. The official charges an indirect technical foul to team A head coach, or the official beckons A6 onto the court, no penalty. The correct answer for that guy would be B, because that is a direct technical foul to the head coach.
Mike,
Somebody
I have a
has their hand
question.
raised.
If you're dealing with a scorer's table that doesn't understand the concept of how to put 15 seconds on for a timing that interval, how do you proceed? Do you just count the time yourself? Wait
Yes, I would absolutely count the time myself or have the timer look at his watch. It's not a visible time that you put up on the clock. It is a time that they just time at the table, and it's the whole idea is the disqualified player is not supposed to be a time where a coach, brings and has like a timeout huddle with his players. He is supposed to replace the player. That first horn, if you need to start counting 15 seconds, start counting 15 seconds.
Then it takes more than 15 seconds to get them to time it.
Was
In
that
just a
question
minute,
or a statement?
meeting.
Hey,
Still
just
eating.
jumping in here. If you are not talking, and please mute yourself. Thank you.
Or any other questions about that one? And there's the rule reference for that play. All right, so A1 is driving to the basket for a breakaway lay-in. While the ball is on the ring, B1, who was trailing the play, intentionally strikes the backboard and causes the ball to fall off the ring. Official rules: basket interference on B1, B, goaltending on B1, C, no points, technical foul on B1, or D, no points, let play continue. And the correct answer would be, whoops, there we go. C, it is a technical foul on B1. Slapping the backboard does not fall under any of the basket interference or goaltending rule. It is either a technical foul or it is nothing. The key to this question is the fact that the player intentionally struck the backboard. If you see a player go up and you feel like they are making a play on the ball, then it's just, part of what happens in basketball.
Hey, Mike,
Yes.
this seems like if you're down, if you're ahead by 1 point, the other team is shooting a lay-in at the buzzer, and the ball's gonna go in, and you smack the backboard so the ball does not go in. Now I'm shooting 2 free throws to win the game when, goaltending would give you 2 points. It seems like it should be both goaltending and a T.
Then I would say you should propose that rule change to the NFHS, because right now that is not the rule. And I'm not even sure it's the rule at NCAA men or women's level. Guys who do that level can say, but in high school, there is no provision for calling goaltending or basket interference on that play. Same way as in high school, there's no provision to call basket interference or goaltending if you hit the ball after it's contacted the backboard.
Mike, it's Chuck here. Question. will actually have a place similar like this. So let's just say, I was aware the test like that. My partner brought it up. I said the test is that it causes the ball to fall off the rim. Now, if the ball goes in, there will be no call, no whistle, correct?
No, you can absolutely still call the technical foul for intentionally slapping the backboard.
Even if the ball goes in, goes through, count the
Even
basket.
if the ball goes in, goes through, you can absolutely still call the technical foul for intentionally slapping the backboard.
Okay, all right, then it's all
That
clear.
would actually be, to me, that's actually great because that might just keep him from doing it again next time.
Okay, all right, so, okay, that's clear. So I didn't get it right then.
Right. Yeah, right. There's nothing that says you can't call it because the ball went in.
Okay, all right, that's all clear. I hope my partner is hearing it right now, so he's gonna give me a bad time on that.
Roger that. Hey, if I'm not sure, I see, there's like 11 things in chat. I'm not looking at it right now. If somebody sees something in there that I should address, can any of the board members let me know?
Hey, Mike, on the last one, they wanted to know what the throw-in spot would be if we counted the bucket and called the technical foul.
Well, it's just like any other technical foul. You're going to shoot the free throws for the technical foul. You're going to score the goal, and then you're going to shoot the free throws for the technical foul. And then we take all throw-ins for a technical foul division line opposite the table.
Hey, Mike, I'm also going to jump in. There's one question I'm not sure if we got addressed earlier. When a player is disqualified, the table should be notified the officials, not the coach, correct? Yes, that's right.
Right.
The officials will notify the coach.
No, the table notifies us. The official needs to notify the coach. Even if you think the coach knows that that's 5 and they're already sending up somebody to sub for him, I would say tell the coach that that's 5 anyway, because who knows, he might be thinking it's 4 on that player and he's just sending up a sub because there's still 4 minutes left. So even if they're sending up a sub for the player, please let the coach know, coach, that's 5. The flip side is they might give you that disgusting look like, yeah, I know it's 5 kind of deal. But, to me, so what? It's all part of the game. I'd rather, make him a little bit upset that I'm notifying it's 5 than assume that he knows it's 5 and he doesn't. So you can't go wrong by telling the coach, that's 5 fouls on 21. Great question. Any others? Beautiful. All right, number 7, 30% of the people missed it. Hey, on the release of the ball by the free thrower, A1, but prior to the ball contacting the rim, B1 crosses the free throw line, enters the semicircle to box out A1 and illegally displaces A1. Official rules nothing, which we've seen everybody do. Delayed violation only by B1, foul only by B1, or what the heck, we're going to penalize both the delayed violation and foul on B1. And guess what? That's what we're going to do. We are going to both penalize the violation and the foul on B1. So if B1 makes the free throw, then the delayed violation is moot and we only have to penalize the foul. So if A1 actually has another foul, we're going to clear another free throw. We're going to clear the lane for that free throw, and then we're going to penalize that foul. Or if A1 had missed that free throw, we're going to penalize the violation with nobody and give the A1 the substitute free throw. We're going to clear everybody off the lane, give A1 that substitute free throw and any other free throws that they're still merited within that free throw situation. And then again, we're going to penalize the foul either with a throw in for team A at the end line, or if team A is in the bonus, A1's going to shoot some more free throws. And in this case, the players would be on the lane line once we penalize for the foul. Any questions about that one? Great. Does that make sense? Everybody kind of cool with that, just to get some head nods? Awesome. All right, number 6, question 11 in your study guide. Before the contest, both coaches verify that their teams are legally equipped, because that's one of the questions we're supposed to ask them, along with having the healthcare professional there and addressing sportsmanship. In the third quarter, A1 is discovered wearing jewelry, which is correct. A1 is required to leave the game. A1 can stay in the game as long as they can rectify it within 15 seconds. A1 can stay in the game if a coach uses a TO, or D, A1 is required to leave the game and the head coach is going to get a direct technical foul. The answer is A. They're just required to leave the game. You know, even though we asked the coach and they were either honest or just didn't know, which is why I think this question to ask them is not, you know, why. We still don't penalize them for not giving us the right answer. We just take A1 out of the game and get a sub for them. And even the coach taking a TO is not going to allow the player to stay in the game. They have to come out and sit out until the clock is properly started.
So, hey, Mike,
Yes.
so can kids wear Band-Aids over their nose, over their ear, and the coach says they're legally equipped? We see no jewelry, and the game goes on. So seems like we have an issue, maybe.
Well, I will say this. So if you see a player warming up with tape over their ears, over their nose, over their lip, or whatever, tape or Band-Aid, you take that player to the head coach and you say, Coach, is the player wearing jewelry underneath the tape or Band-Aid? And if the coach says no, we've done our part. And if later on you see that tape come off and you see jewelry underneath of it, take the player out of the game.
And there's no T in the player and no T in the coach. There's
Correct. The penalty for wearing illegal equipment is the player can no longer participate.
Until it's corrected.
Until it's corrected, correct. And they have to come out of the game. They can't take a TO to keep that player in there to pull the stuff out and things like that. We actually had a situation the other day where we addressed that. And certainly, you know, if you see lumps and bumps underneath the tape, you know, come on, coach, don't, you know, now you're trying to lie to us. We can't tell them to remove the tape or Band-Aid and show to us that there isn't any jewelry underneath there. We are not allowed to do that. We just take them to the coach and make sure the coach verifies that they are legally equipped. There's no jewelry underneath there.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, I think the most important point of all that is we don't touch it. We don't ask them to remove it. Nothing of that nature. We live in a different time these days, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot do that kind of scrutiny on the players when it comes to that stuff. We address it to the coach and then move on from there.
As a reminder, in the pre-games, when we're talking to the captains, remind them not to lift their shirts up, just to tell us their numbers. I'm getting a lot of people lately that have been telling, you know, signaling for them to lift their shirt, and I know we're not supposed to do that anymore.
Oh yeah, I agree, Stephen. Right. And that's actually my point. I say, without lifting your shirt, tell me what your numbers are. You know, it doesn't mean the player's still not going to lift their shirt up, and you know, but I did not ask them to, and I have witnesses.
And more importantly, they didn't see you use your hands to signal, you know, raise your shirt up. Right. So.
Right. Exactly.
Just remember the captain faces. It's easy to remember the faces and to remember the numbers. That's it. And be quiet.
Well, yeah. All right. Any other questions about that one about finding the jewelry later on? Just
Hey, Mike.
remember, it's never a technical foul if a player's wearing illegal equipment. It is always removal from the game, and they can't come in until it's rectified.
Hey, Mike, I got a question. If they're wearing jewelry due to religious beliefs, does that need to be properly secured, or is that just they can wear a necklace or a bracelet if it's religious?
Oh, no. Your first statement was correct. So if they're wearing religious jewelry or like a medic alert thing, it has to be taped and secured to the body. If it's a medic alert thing, it needs to be taped in such a way that you can still be able to see the stuff that's written on it. So if something happens, they can see it right off. But yeah, it has to be secured to the body.
Mike,
Yes.
I have a quick question. The other night we had a situation where same type of thing, but it was their undershirts and all that were different, and the coach told us it was religious, and then the evaluator made a comment about that. What is that? I mean, where's that fine line?
So undershirts, right? If they need to wear an undershirt, that's fine, but it needs to still match the jersey.
The coach said it was religious, and that's what she told us.
I hear you, coach. It's religious, but the undershirt needs to match the jersey.
Oh,
The
okay.
religious part is the fact that they have to wear a covering. It
Yeah.
doesn't, it's not that it has to be, black, green, white, red, or anything like that. They have to wear the undershirt. They have to wear an undershirt. So
Yep.
it still
Yeah,
needs to
so
match.
Mike, I sent that message. This is Scott McInnes. I sent that message to you last night about Bothell. So I don't know how long they've been going with this. The Bothell girls wearing gray uniform for home jerseys and gray and white undershirts. And I told them it had to be predominant color of the jersey. And you had mentioned they should have been wearing white anyway as a home jersey. So who will take that information to the school to ensure that it's taken care of so we are not having to readdress it again? Because the whole team was technically illegal then, if that's the case.
Did you also send that information to John?
I did. I text John already.
Okay. So John, I don't know if you want me to reach out to Yanni about this. I would think it could come better from you, but I'd be willing to do it as well. Just let him know that gray is not a legal home jersey.
I'll take care of it.
Thank you, brother.
If a team wears gray, is it 2 free throws at the start of the game and that's it?
2 free throws, and the head coach no longer has the coaching box privilege.
And that's the one thing we did not do last night, just because I had to get clarification. So
yeah, it's a direct technical foul to the head coach, no matter how many violations of 3-4 there is. It's just one direct tee to the head coach. And it's important, it is a direct tee. So if the coach gets another direct tee during the game, like complaining about calls, they are done for the night. They would have to leave. Versus a indirect technical foul. Now they still have 2 more technicals in their pocket. But for illegal uniform, it is a direct technical foul to the head coach.
Could you then, if that were to happen, this is bizarre, could you then give a coach a warning and not a tee during the game? If he's being, unsporting, you want to cool him down, or do you have to go right to the technical foul?
No, you know what, that is a great question, Gary. And I think that they could still get a warning for unsporting conduct, because the technical they got earlier did not deal with unsporting conduct. It dealt with something, other than the unsporting conduct. Great question. As a matter of fact, I'll send that to the RTO as well and see if they say the same thing. And if they have something different, I will definitely let the group know. But to me, the warning is for sporting behavior. The direct technical foul is for something else. All right. Moving on to number 5, question 20 on your study guide. Dribbler A1 is being guarded by B1. B1 knocks the ball away from A1. And while both players are going after the loose ball, A1 fouls B1. B1 is in the bonus. Official has B1 shoot bonus free throws. Correct or incorrect? And that would be
Incorrect.
absolutely right. That is incorrect. The thing to remember about team control is there are only 3 times when there isn't team control. Somebody tell me one of those times. When isn't there team control?
Loose ball.
Negative. Loose ball is not one of them.
A try.
Jump ball.
A try is one. What's another time?
Rebound.
Jump ball.
That's all part of the try. The other 2 times are on the jump ball, there's no team control, and on a dead ball, like after a made basket, there's no team control. That's why either team can call a timeout. Otherwise, a team is always considered in control of the ball, even if it's rolling loose on the floor. If it's not during the jump ball, if it's not during a try, or if it's not during a dead ball, whoever had control of it last still has control of it. So this question, A1 would be charged with a team control foul, and Team B would get the ball out of bounds spot nearest the foul.
Good job. Let's move on.
All right, number 4, A1 drives to the basket, goes airborne, releases the ball for a try, and then contacts B1 before landing. The basket is made. Double whistle between lead and center. Lead signals block. Center signals charge. We have the dreaded blarge. Correct procedure to handle a blarge is lead and center get together to decide whose primary call it is, and that official reports only their foul. B, both officials report the foul, basket's not counted, throw-in awarded using the AP arrow. Or C, both officials report their foul, basket is counted, then play resumes. Throw-in awarded to Team B anywhere along the end line.
C, don't ever let that happen.
C.
Right, D, don't let that happen, right? But sadly, it happens, and I've even seen a guy blarge himself before, but that was a whole nother funny story. But no, the answer to this one is C. They even have a casebook play for it. The reason why you count the basket is because it is no longer a player control foul, it is a double foul. So when the lead is going to report the block, the center is going to report the charge, which is the pushing signal. We're going to count the basket, and then Team B will get the ball for the throw-in anywhere along the end line, because the POI is the made basket by A1.
And Mike,
Yes.
why not a free throw?
What? Because it's not considered a shooting foul, it's a double foul.
Thanks for clarification.
So if you look at 419, a double foul is actually it's like 432 for the POI. When you have a double foul, the POI is either the ball goes to the team who's in control, or if you scored the basket, you're going to give it to the other team. If there's no team control on the double foul, then it goes to the AP arrow. So there's never free throws for a double foul.
So if the basket did not go in, same results?
If the basket did not go in, then you would go to the AP arrow, because there is no team control on the try. And the significance of this one is the fact that the ball had been released on the try. If we had the same situation, but A1 had not released the ball on the try yet, then Team A was still technically in control. So you would give Team A the ball back at nearest where the ball was, and you would and the shot clock would not reset, because we don't reset the shot clock on double fouls where the team in control maintains the ball or gets the ball because of the AP arrow. We don't reset the shot clock.
The moral of the story is be slow to show.
Absolutely. That's what I have in my notes. Be slow to show, make that good eye contact. You know, those drives into the lane. We tend to like the lead to take those calls, especially if it's a secondary player. You know, I saw a film the other day where we had a foul by the center from that on a play that happened clear across the court. That was a primary whistle. You know, when it's not in your primary, you have to have a patient whistle to give our primary officials the crack at that call. But either way, when we have double whistles, officials need to recognize it, be slow to show, let the primary official on the play take that call to the table. Any other questions about the dreaded blarge? And just remember, it's what created the blarge was because both people signaled. We've all blown our whistle on a double whistle, and the partner comes up with a charge, and you're thinking, damn, I had a block. We're as long as you didn't show that block, we're going with the charge. So just be slow to show. All right, question 3. A1 dunks over B1 and then taunts B1. That whole tapping on the head that these kids do now, that's taunting. It's no different than when they do the flex to the player. It's all taunting. B1 retaliates and throws a punch at A1. The ruling is both players are just issued unsporting technical fouls. A1 is issued an unsporting technical and B1 is issued a flagrant technical. C, both are charged with the flagrant technical fouls. Or D, a warning should be issued.
C.
Exactly right. C, we're going to charge them both with flagrant technical fouls. The casebook play pretty much spells it out that if somebody taunts and the other person retaliates with the fight, we're charging both players with fighting. And fighting is a flagrant foul. They're both disqualified for the game.
Hey, Mike, I got a quick question on that. If someone, it's an exciting game, a guy comes down, he dunks, he like looks back at his bench and he flexes, is that like considered taunting, or is that just excited about what just happened?
Yeah, great question. I would say that's different than turning around and flexing at the guy that you just dunked on. You're
So it's
exactly
really
right. They're excited. They're showing they're looking at their team. They're doing, you know, showing the strength. I'd probably have a harder time calling that a technical foul than I would in the situation where the player, you know, turns around, looks at the guy they just dunked on and does it.
Okay, so then backing up just 1 second. So if he does look at that player and he flexes, but the guy retaliate, then that's an immediate technical foul on that player prior to elevating there.
Right. We don't have to see the other kid retaliate to call the technical on the flexing. We can call the technical on the flexing right off.
And then if it escalates into like a fighting, then it's both flagrant technical fouls for each of them. Okay, thank you.
Correct.
Mike,
That would normally not be flagrant unless there's a retaliation, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Mike, can I throw something in here? Two things. One, to Mike's point for you, Lisa, players are allowed to have spontaneous shows of emotion after they do something great, right? That's an important thing to realize. Like, let them celebrate spontaneously as long as they're not taunting. But I will say it's a good idea, particularly if this happens early in the game. There's an opportunity for you to have a conversation with that kid, right? Next dead ball, turn your free throw, whatever. hey, that's great. Make sure it stays within your team, whatever. This is it. Those are really good opportunities to go talk to kids and make sure they keep it within the bounds of what is legal.
Great point, Benton.
Hey, one more, Mike. We have time for one more.
All right. Oh, this is actually a pretty good one. A1 located in the front court passes the ball to A2, who is also located in front court. A2 is not looking, ball strikes A2, rebounds back to the backcourt. A1 touches the ball first when she are standing in their backcourt lane area, which would be Team B's front court lane area. Official calls the backcourt violation on Team A. Team B throw-in will be from A, Team B front court end line. Team B sideline nearest the division line where the ball crossed into the backcourt, or Team B backcourt nearest the spot where the ball struck A2. And as with any violation, we always take the ball out spot nearest the violation. So in this case, because the ball was all the way down into Team B's key, we're going to take the ball out in Team B's front court end line. When we have a backcourt violation, the ball isn't always taken out at near the division line unless that's where the violation occurred. If they touch the ball near the top of the key, we should be taking the ball out of bounds nearest the spot, to the top of the key.
All right, good stuff, Mike. Give Mike a hand, silent hand. Appreciate that. Mike will send me this PowerPoint, and then if you want to see it, I'll send it to you, so you can send me the email, not Mike. That'll be my job. So Mike will send me the email of these questions, if that's okay with you, Mike, and then I can send it to you if you want it. Rather than take.
I'm fine. Just real quick, this last one, which was the most missed question, kind of funny. It's a tough one to find. It's actually in the WIAA handbook, but it is now in the WOA handbook concerning teams circling the end line.
And I actually called Mike on this because I couldn't find it anywhere. What?
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to try to figure out how to unshare. Okay. I'm done.
Get off my screen.
Well, I'm trying to. There we go.
Yeah.
It should be off.
All right. This is the guy. Oh, here we go. Yes. All right. Dang it. I'm sharing.
Can I ask a quick clarifying question on that 10 minutes remaining in pregame warmups? What if the side that the team is coming from to start their warmups means they have to run under the other opposing basket? Is that just like under 10 minutes? They can't do that, but if they need to come out from there,
they never have to run under the end line. They can run up either sideline, either table sideline, or opposite the table sideline. I'm trying to think of a situation where they would come out and have to run under the end line.
Shorewood, just the other night, they did that. I think they run out from that way, they go across their other team's baseline, and then they go on the far side and they run up. I was questioning.
Right. They shouldn't have to do that. They should have just been able to run up the sideline on the table side then.
Okay. That's the question I had.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking that question. So anybody works Shorewood, not Shoreline, let them know that.
Right. They when they come out, they can just run straight up the sideline on table side. They don't have to run across the end line of the opposing team and then run up the sideline.
Right. Got it. Okay. Hey, in front of you here is a little pregame. If you ever worked with me, I do this little pregame here. I posted it on the website in case you want to use it or any part of it. it's kind of interesting. It came from my friend, Mr. Myers from up north, and I modified it to my own thing, but it's just another example of a pregame you could have. And in order to find that pregame, some people have trouble on the website here. And so if you click on PNBOA, this is what you get. You get this thing. You get the closest updates. You get the calendar. And then if you go over here to, what's that say? I can't read it. Members, you get a different menu. You get this menu here, easy access, which is a different menu, which is different than membership login. By the way, if you get membership login, it says re-login again like it just did. Just click on that X again, you'll be back there. And this is where the documents are that I just talked about, like pregame, it's in here somewhere. And just be careful, down here it says show more. There may be some more to show. So you got to click on that. See, there's my pregame document right there hiding. So I just wanted to show you guys a little tour of our website in case you weren't sure what's going on there. All righty then. This needs to go away. All right, so elections are January 22nd. That's our next Sunday meeting. It's in person. We'll have some treats for you. You need to give notice to the VP, me, by January 15th, midnight. If you want to run, you can write as much as you want. I don't care. People reading it do care, and they won't read it, so keep it simple. But if you have any questions about running, please let us know. We're looking for 4 positions open. We're looking for some new people, new, fresh, young people, and maybe 1 or 2 veterans, because we like to keep some veterans on this board. When I say veterans, just somebody who's been around a couple of years rather than everybody being new. So that's very, very important. Constitutional changes and amendments that you want to propose need to be to me by the same date, January 15th, midnight. So if you don't like anything, you want some change that needs to be there, let us know. You might talk to a board member before you do that so you get some guidance. I think that would be a good idea. So want to be a leader? Be a leader. Ambassador awards, they're going to be starting. You can put your nominees into me anytime you want. There's 5 of them, 1 for school, the best school. We have 1 for coaching on the girl side, coach on the boy side, player girl side, and boy side. In the past, I'm just kind of throwing this out, we always gave those awards when we invited them to our banquet, and they had to sit around and hear about a bunch of crap that we're doing, and they're not interested in that. So because last year, COVID and so forth, we were behind on some awards. So I gave a couple awards for people to give out, and I worked the game and I gave an award, and that's what this little picture is right here. And actually their local newspaper covered it, and it was a pretty big deal. He didn't know about it. It was surprised. I called the ADs. I did it 15 minutes before our game. That's the principal on the left. That's me over there. And this is a little article. This is the coaches for the boys. So I think that would be a better idea for us moving in the future, is that we give these awards as soon as we can, so they can do it at their banquets. They can do it at the last game. I think it's much better than having them come to our little banquet and sitting around, because nobody at our banquet is going to recognize it. All right, we're not doing that. Randy Vendors, you're up. Any questions for me on my little slide? Very good. Randy.
All right, hopefully the slide stays up. If you have not paid your dues yet, please pay your dues. You have to pay them by December 31st. Otherwise, you will not be officiating in January because you will not be a member in good standing. You can follow the link at the top or pull out your phone and take a picture of the QR code. Bitten already sent this out last week, but there's a description of where your money goes that you need to pay to be a PNBOA official. If you do not understand that, please email me and I will help clarify that, or call me and I can clarify that. And lastly, if you are interested in buying a PNBOA jacket, we have plenty of jackets. Please email me and let me know, and we can arrange for you to pick one up, or I can ship it to you.
Any questions for Randy?
Just for those that may not realize that if you send your check to them by mail, it saves them $2.50 per square to process it. So, you know, it's more money in our pocket and less than somebody else's.
Thank you. All right, Scott, you have something you want to share?
Yeah, just really quick. We've had a lot of questions from registered officials on how to get into evals.org and how do I get my evaluations from the varsity people. All you got to do is go in and register, and this is for new varsity officials too. www.evals.org, and you need to go in and register, and Penny Davis will get you set up with your password and such so you can start getting receiving evaluations by varsity officials, and in varsity officials cases by the paid evaluators. Also, there's a lot of registered officials that are concerned, hey, I'm not going to get enough observations as a registered official because I'm working a ton of varsity games. Varsity partners are able to evaluate you on those games, and I highly recommend you encourage your varsity partners to turn in an evaluation for you on those games. That way you're going to be able to get your required number of evals. Let's see, the last thing is the board made a change tonight to the evaluation manual, and I encourage everybody to go out and read the manual. It's in that section that Rod just brought up on the members only page. The manual said if a varsity official referees a game with a JV official, the evaluation will automatically get thrown out. The new verbiage says it may get removed if you notify the evaluations chair and the assigner within 7 days of that evaluation, if you want that to be not counted because you work with a JV official. With the state of affairs we're in now, we have JV officials work almost every varsity game, so John can even get the games covered. So that's kind of where we are now. And if anybody has any questions, please reach out to me. Give me a phone call or email me, and I will make sure I get back with you in a timely manner.
Scott, I have a quick question.
Yep.
If you are on, let's say, the girls list, can you not do an evaluation for the boys JV as a varsity official?
Ask me that again.
So currently I'm technically a varsity official on the girls list, but not the boys. But
Okay.
when I went in there, I couldn't put an eval for a JV boys game. Does that not count?
If you're not a varsity official, you cannot, on the boys side, you cannot do an evaluation on a JV official on the boys side. Does that answer your question?
Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Scott, we got another question in the chat. I registered last week to the evaluations page, but still can't access it. When will you be able to get access?
Okay, one more time, Benton. I just saw another chat come across.
So it's the one right before that. I registered last week to the evaluations page, but still can't access it. When will we be able to get access?
Okay, so whoever that is, send me an email and I will send a note to Penny. She's our administrator of that system. Apprentices can go out and register on the evaluation site because you will probably get an evaluation if you're doing a JV game. Varsity officials are able to evaluate apprentice officials, and they get credit for doing an evaluation, even though that apprentice official won't count in any ranking. It's just going to be for information for you. And that's illustrated in the evaluations manual, that very question. So I think somebody asked the question, how do I get evaluation forms so I can evaluate the JV officials? Whoever that was, send me a note and I will mail them to you.
They're at the first 3 meetings too.
That's beside the point.
And one other thing to add, if you're a JV official and you're taking off because you have a game or have something, just make sure you takes 30 seconds to pick up your eval. Just stop in the locker room. We'll meet the guys at the door and they'll give them to you as you leave.
Hey, Scott, it's Steve. I've got a suggestion on the eval forms. Can we make them a PDF file so that you can actually just email out to people and they can make their own prints?
Yeah, that's a great idea because I've actually created a PDF file. That's what I use when I get a Staples to get them printed out. So yeah.
I appreciate that because I use a tablet to fill it in.
So whoever needs the forms, send me an email and I'll send you the PDF. That saves us postage too.
Thank you. Anything else, Scott?
That's all I got, unless somebody else got any more questions.
Julian.
Oh, one last thing. If you have questions, and I say this at every meeting, if you have questions on evaluations, don't email Benton or other board members. Email me. Benton gets enough emails.
That's why we pay the big bucks. Julian.
Okay, we have more books in. So if you don't have any books, you're looking for it, please. I go between essentially Bellevue and Kent. Please get in contact with me. And also part of our committee too, they also have the membership committee also have books, and they're spread out around as well. So we'll get the books to you. Meetings, remember all the meetings. If you've missed any meetings so far, please email, please go to the website, take a look, the videos are there, and then email and let me know, and you'll get credit. Even for the earlier meetings, just email me, let me know that you've watched them, and I can give you credit. If you're on this meeting and you haven't got your first and last name, please go through. I'm trying to give you credit for tonight's meeting, but if I only have a first name or a last or first name, it's hard for me to give you credit. Anyone got any questions for membership? Thank you.
Dr. Tony Ford. Tony, you there? Any other board member?
Yep, hold on, I'm right here. I was just moving my laptop. Sorry about that. Back into the office. Okay, hopefully you guys can see me. On the recruiting and the training, if any of our members are good with videos, or any of you guys want to get involved with making training videos or any involved like that, me and Jake are going to get together and get some new stuff together out there. That was number one. I got a ton of business cards. I carry them with me. People think it's funny. The committee would have business cards. So if you want some business cards, feel free to reach out to me, call me, text me, and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. And I work nights, so you can just hit me up at night or vice versa. And the most important thing is you guys are our recruiters. So how you act out there, how you treat each other, how you respect each other, how you grow as we're families are recruiting for us. So just be nice, recruit, talk to people out there. If they have questions, just give them a card. If you don't have cards, I got a box of them out here. Some things coming up out there. We got some tournaments, Turcotte's coming up at Northwest and this weekend, and then we got the Kennedy tournament. So I'll be out there. My committee will be putting around, putting up a booth and figuring out some things to do. So if you have any ideas, let me know. If you want to get involved with the training videos, or you're good with video recording or posting stuff or any technology stuff, let Jake and I know so we can figure it out. That's about it. And everybody have a great day. And just remember that you never know when you're going to see somebody for the last time. And so just try to be nice and polite. My mom always said, if you don't have nothing nice to say, just don't say it, because you just never know when the last time is going to be. So like I said, I'm a little emotional because of Eric. So that's good. And I thank you guys.
All right. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate that. Any other board member?
Hey,
Sure.
Star, I just have a quick message to the team. We will be beginning our third training class in the new year. I'll be sending out dates to the board and to membership, and we're working with the CYO to lock up a gym, John and myself. John has been great with getting us these gyms for free, and the CYO has also been awesome with that effort. I also want to thank the membership for working with our apprentices who are being asked to go into freshman games and JV games and work in tough environments. And lastly, just I want to give a shout out to one apprentice in specific, Kunal, who has been very involved and willing to go sit and watch people's games without getting pay. And just hoping we can get more people like this in the association. Like I said, I'll send out dates, locations, and times for the third class, and hopefully we can get these numbers up. That's all I got, Star.
Thanks, Jake. Mike, did I hear your voice?
Yeah, the only thing that I want to say from the rec side is just remember, if you have an ejection in a rec game, and especially if it's like a tournament, you need to notify the gym manager ASAP. Let them know you've had an ejection so they can take care of business. You know, some of these tournaments, the person can't, you know, return for even the next game or whatever. All of our gyms should have a gym manager in them. You need to make sure that when you show up at the gym site, you know who that person is, so that when you have problems, you don't find them just because you want to get paid. You want to find them so that if you have problems, you know who you go to take care of these issues. Because once that person's been ejected, they're no longer our responsibility. They're the gym manager's responsibility. That's all I have.
Super. Okay, I think that's what we had all for board reports. Miss anybody who needed to talk?
I don't need to talk about ethics and grievance, just think about running for the board, step up and participate in leadership. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and be safe on the courts.
You can't say Merry Christmas. Come on. Salima.
So welcome everyone, and I would like to start off by saying thank you very much for everyone that's been working every single weekend for John and myself. We truly, truly appreciate it. It's been a challenge, as you all are aware. So thank you for that. As far as games, I have 2 tournaments coming up. The MLK tournament, both are in the north. One of them is going to be primarily at Juanita High School, and the other one's going to be at Cedar Park, Bothell. There might be a couple of additional sites close by. Same weekend, I will need everybody, and we still need to cover the high school games on Saturday. So please open yourselves up and make yourselves available. I will send out an email with more information probably in the next week or so. Other than that, I truly appreciate everyone working, and happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you. Here's Johnny.
Okay, just a couple things. Make sure that in Arbiter, a lot of people haven't put their picture in there. So you need to go into your profile and enter your picture in Arbiter, so your partner obviously knows who they're looking for, and it helps the whole running of the association. So please do that. When you go to any gym that you're working at for a school game, make sure you find out who the gym manager is. It could be the AD, it could be somebody else, but if there's ever a problem, then you have the opportunity to know who you're looking for. So before the game, ask for that person. Officials wearing jewelry. We don't wear watches. We don't wear jewelry. There's a couple instances of people telling me that somebody had a watch on. It's nice to know the time, but it's not part of the officials' uniforms. Verified pay. After every game, every night, I verify the pay in Arbiter. So if you think it's wrong or something beforehand, please don't send an email. Please don't text me. Please don't call me. I verify every game. If the next day the pay isn't correct, then please contact me then. But you don't need to contact me in advance. Arbiter has issues, so they will get verified that evening by myself. I open up every single game that night. So please make sure that you've also put in the score, so I don't have to call you at 11 o'clock because you haven't verified score in Arbiter. there's no sense in texting me or calling me at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. There's nothing I can do at that time. Please text, call after 9 a.m. unless it's on a weekend, a Saturday or Sunday when we have morning games. But during the week, there's no sense in sending me that information. This coming Saturday, the 17th, all I've got today is cancellations from people. So I'm gonna have a bunch of openings on the 17th. We have tournaments going on that run this weekend. And so I have a bunch of turnbacks from people. So please, if you're available anytime during the day on the Saturday, please open up your availability. And then we'll have holiday tournaments. There's some games that are played next Monday, the 19th and 20 regular season games. And then it slows down on 21st, 22nd. But then the holiday tournaments games from the 27th through the 30th, we have a bunch of games, both JV and varsity, more varsity than JV, but there are some JV tournaments going on during that time. So we have plenty of basketball. I do appreciate all the people that are stepping up for open games. You're getting a lot of emails from me, but I got to cover games. And there's no other way. There's no availability in there. 90% of the games have been assigned, and most of those games are turnbacks. But there are some games that we just can't cover. So I do appreciate the people that have stepped up and picked up extra games in the last week or so. It's very heavy through this Saturday, the 17th. So anytime you can help, that would be greatly appreciated. That's all I got. Thanks, Star.
All right, so I understand that all my screens on my other screen here where I can watch what you guys see, it froze apparently, so it wasn't changing. So that's why you saw those screen changes. So I was trying to get on again. Hey, our next meeting is election. It's going to be Sunday, January 22nd at 6:30. It is live. It will be at Bellevue. In the celebration has been booked. It's going to be Friday, April 21st. Sunset Bay Lodge at Shilsho. The old Raven, Spinnakers, if you ever danced there. Currently the Elks Club is upstairs, if you know the place. Little further than Ray's Boathouse, next couple places down. And I have an old card from Spinnakers Bay Club there from my dancing days. I just wanted to share that with you. So more details on that. And finally, I did want to show you one final little thing here. If you're seeing this right here, it says board positions, duties. Basically, if you're going to run for the board, you can look at, see what they do. If you're a finance guy, you think about running the board because you want to go into finance, or you're a good trainer, you want to train people. I encourage you to check the chairperson, tell them how many hours they put in. Don't run for the board for some kind of status in the community. It takes work. It's volunteer. If you don't have the time to do it, don't do it. Normally our off will be on Mondays or regular meetings. So
Hey,
that's
Star?
Yes, sir.
One last question.
You're out of questions, I believe.
As referees, do we really have to put the score of the game in arbiter? Why can't we make it 1 for the winner and 0 for the loser? We're there to officiate the game. A lot of times we're doing 2 or 3 games. Our phone might be in the car. Why is it so important to have the score of the game in arbiter? John?
Gary, you know, we've answered this question numerous times over the last year. It was part of the negotiations when we went to the arbiter pay system, because those scores go to the WPN or whatever it's called at the school. It goes to Max Sports. It goes to everything. They wanted to get the scores updated as quick as they could. So that was part of the negotiations.
All right.
So
fair enough.
But we probably didn't have any input on it, I'm sure. Someone else was negotiating for us. But anyway, anybody else have a comment? President?
Hey, Star, I got a couple things.
Right on.
Spent to everybody. So just to close this out here. One, I wanted to say thank you. I was having a conversation with another official earlier this week and said, I'm not sure we're calling quite as many technical fouls as we could be. And then within the next half an hour, like 8 reports came in. And so we're clearly doing what we need to be doing on the court as far as technical fouls are concerned. And I'm not saying, well, go look for them, but most of the reports we're reading are legitimate technical fouls and they need to be called. I want to highlight one just so folks can know kind of a situation that can come up that is something that you'll want to handle, which is we had one report come in where the scorekeeper for the visiting team, so not the official book, was complaining about from the table under the guise of asking a question, said some derogatory things toward the officials. What the officials did at that point was contact the game management and tell them to take care of it. That was the right thing to do, okay? And it led to some other situations, but the point here is every piece of the game that's happening during the game, whether it's the people at the table, the teams, the player, or the bench, the fans, something is directed toward you, you have mechanisms to address it. If it's the players and the coaches, you can dish out technical fouls. If it's fans or game people, that's what game management's for. It's why you need to contact game management when you arrive at the gym so you know who they are so you can deal with it. And so this situation was handled really well by involving game management, not slowing down the game by the official engaging with this person at the table who has no authority in the game whatsoever. So I wanted to flag that one. They also wrote an incredibly detailed report, which is easy to follow up on. So on that note, a few of you are probably hearing from different board members or folks who are involved in the association about some of these technical foul reports because we see all of them. The biggest thing that I look at is whether we're adjudicating those technical fouls properly. So it's a technical foul being adjudicated that way versus an intentional foul being adjudicated as an intentional foul, versus the other ways that we could do it. So you might hear from folks, and that's why, because we just want to make sure they're adjudicated properly. The reason we ask you to fill out these reports is so that we can send them to the ADs. They're designed to protect you so that when we hear from the ADs and they say, oh my gosh, so-and-so called these 2 technicals and it was awful, we can say, well, you have a report. Here's what it says. Here's why they did that, okay? And then those ADs can look at trends and they can talk to their coaches and their players. And we're also looking at district ADs, so they can talk to their schools and they can say, hey, it looks like you guys are having a problem. You're getting a lot of technical fouls from a bunch of different officials. Sounds like that's not a PNBOA problem, it's a you problem. So this is designed to protect you. It's designed to help us make sure that these games stay within the realm of being sportsmanlike. And so please keep filling those out. Please keep getting those in. And then please, keep learning from them when you get that opportunity. 3 other things. You've heard this a bunch of times. Please, please, please run for the board. There's 4 spots that are going to come open in January. Make sure you get the nominations in with 7 days prior to that meeting on the 22nd. Look, there's some hard things to do. I know Star gives the always every week or every month, don't do it if you don't have time. That is true, but it's also an incredibly valuable and important thing to do. It's a lesson in how we run our association. You deal with some of the challenges that we have to deal with. You make difficult decisions that are necessary, and you dig into things like what Gary just asked about. Like there was a deal that was cut, right? Around one of the things we had to do was report the score. Well, we talk about these kinds of things. So there are things we need to ask the WOA for, right? That does come up in board meetings. So please, if you have the time, it is a very valuable and important thing to do, and we need people to step up in their leadership positions. That's one. I know Randy already talked about dues. It's just a reminder, those are due by the end of this month. I sent out a link explaining what the WOA dues situation is. So if you have more questions about that, I would say start with that link. If you didn't get it for some reason, please let me know. I know sometimes arbiter emails go to people's junk mail. So if you're not getting any emails from the board, please let me know and we'll try to figure that out. Contact your partner. We've had some situations this fall where somebody did a 1-person game because their partner didn't show up and they called asking for a expanded game fee. And we said, did you contact your partner and confirm them? Well, no, that's part of the process. Please contact your partner. It's both of your responsibility or all 3 of your responsibility to make sure you all show up on time. Okay. It is so important. It is us just taking care of our business before we get to the game. It's the first easiest thing to do. 72 hours before is when I send out an email or text message to my crews, always saying, hey, we're going to be here at this time. We'll see you there. Please confirm. Very simple. Takes you 30 seconds. Lastly, like John said, very busy week coming up this week, but after that, I really hope people get the opportunity to take some downtime, spend it with your family, your friends, whoever you spend it with. Just take the time over the holiday to rest, recover, rejoice, and celebrate however you do. I'm grateful to get to work with all of you and thankful that you're all out here on the court every day, basically every single day. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you out there this week. So thank you. Have a great night.
I have a quick question for you. What's considered on time?
What?
John, what is your requirement for a varsity game?
3 minutes.
There's not a, Steve, there's not an answer to that because I'm coming from another game. I'm going to tell you, I'm coming from this game. I should be there at that time. That's why you confirm the game with your partner and hopefully there'll be a communication on that. But you'd hope that you'd be there 20 minutes, a half an hour before game time. If it's an afternoon game at 3:30, if you're there 5 minutes before, we understand that you got a job.
The reason I asked, I have partners.
Exactly. Steve, I'm talking now, okay? You've asked lots of questions tonight. I'm talking, okay? So there's not a set answer for that. You hope that you communicate with your partner before, when you verify the game, that I'm coming from a certain place and this is what time I'm going to be there. So that's what we're trying to do.
Steve, what was your follow-up?
Well, I had a partner that didn't respond to any of the communication attempts and showed up 5 minutes before tip-off. So I'll just
jump in from a varsity standpoint, because John's point about like an afternoon game, totally get it. From a varsity standpoint, I would set two expectations, and then a third thing I would say. One is I always say that I'm going to be there at least 30 minutes before the game starts, unless there's some emergency. I try to get there even earlier than that, right? Because we would like you to evaluate JV officials if you're not working the JV game, right? Registered officials. If your partner does not confirm, does not respond, you never hear from them, reach out to the assigner. Let them know. If you have not heard on the day of from your partner, let John or Selima know, depending on what game, because that is important. They need to know, right? If you haven't heard from your partner, in case that partner's not going to show up, right? So please let your assigner know if it's the day of and you haven't heard from your partner.
Will do.
And confirming rec games too, not just school games.
Yeah, that's what I said, both of them. Any game you have, you should be confirming with your partners. Good question. Anything else?
That's all, folks. Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
54, 50, 50, 49. Get out of here. 45, 43, 35, 32. Hike. 25, 23, 22, 20, 19. 19, get out. 17. 17, why are you still here? 16. You lookers, go away, I know who you are. 15.